a crypto trader who made multiple 7 figures by the age of 18 and then lost it all.
For me, there's one thing that I always try to push on people, and that is don't be the guy who sprays and prays into 30 coins that some random influencer says, but just put your head down for a couple of years, learn how the game actually works, and make a few conviction bets instead of going into 30 ones and hoping that it will do something.
Now, Camille, known as TradingWizard, has been involved in the crypto markets for many, many years, made multiple 7 figures. In this episode, we discuss how to correctly trade the crypto markets, the effect of Trump becoming president, and how you should even view meme coins after we saw what happened with NFTs in the past. How about now with a very pro-crypto seeming president, and specifically as of lately, he launched his own meme coin, and it seems like now it's like 60% down. What's the story behind that?
It depends. So for people in the beginning, I would always say only seek help if it cracks. If you don't know anything about the day trading space, for example, I would say don't buy a course, learn a bit first, see how it actually works. When it cracks, that is when you're going for help. But before that, the beginning phase is the best phase to see how dedicated you really are.
You mentioned you're a big reader and you've mentioned a couple of books now. What books would you say led to the level of success that you have now?
My favorite question. So I brought a few. These are the ones that if you want to start with day trading, you need to start with. I will give you the reasons for everything. One of them.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to another episode. I'm joined by Camille, a friend of mine that we've met in Dubai and stayed in touch, known as the Trading Wizard and a master wizard when it comes to crypto specifically. So at the time of recording, you've had a world or life record, a personal best. Yeah. So I want to touch right away into that. Of like, what have you just recently done?
So before we go into that, I need to say one thing, and actually 2 things. One of the things is I have something for you because I really appreciate what you do. Not only letting day traders give a platform and just letting them speak, but besides that, you paid the bill once, and as you guys know, I absolutely hate it when people do it. So I got you something. I know that you're a man of class. I know that you're a man who loves this brand. But I saw some Zenyas there.
Not a fan of Zenya.
So we need to switch that. So I got you, some matching things.
You know what we'll do is we'll open it by the end of the episode.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Very kind of you. There was truly no need.
There's a lesson in here, and that is never, guys. He was so slick with paying the bill with his little brother. It was, I never saw it before. It was a great technique.
Well, we can touch on that because I think networking and these kind of things is skill. Let's say. Yeah. And I always like to leave a little bit of like a how the hell, well, what the hell just happened? Yeah. And that instance specifically is the place you chose. It was your setup. It was your private room. Yeah. So how am I gonna figure this out here? I had my brother with me. He has my card. Yeah. So I never left the table.
Bro, and you were thinking, I had you cornered in my own room.
The thing here to mention though for me is like these things happen, and then everybody is like, oh, thanks for paying the bill, and it stops there. This is months ago, and every time I text you, you're like, happy birthday. By the way, I'll get you back.
yeah. No,
here we go. Thank you very much. We're even.
Got it.
But yeah, that aside, you've had a huge week, or in the last 2 weeks, you've done a huge X. So I want to hear the story behind that, because you mentioned on Riz's podcast that this was something you're getting involved with, and fast forward a year, it seems. Yeah, we've had a big payday.
Yeah, so I stopped doing podcasts for a while because I have quite some wins on my name, but I shared them all on previous podcasts, and then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to stop doing podcasts. I'm going to cook, and I'm just going to make sure that the next podcast that I go to, it is on yours, because actually we were supposed to do one year ago. I said, no, I want to have something special. And that's what we did. So I just closed one of my biggest trades in my entire life. The previous one was on Luna. I was one of the first investors in Luna. For everyone who's in the crypto space knows Luna ended. But when I was looking at Luna, I made 460x on that one because I was one of the first investors. Now I doubled it with Toshi. It's the biggest meme coin on the base chain, where I did 950x.
This means if you put in $1,000, it'll be 960,000.
Yeah, if you put in $1, it will become $950.
Insane. And I guess this for you is, even at the stage you're at, years into making money, life-changing money, I would imagine.
Yeah, 100%. But I would say one of the good things, or the thing that I like is that for me, there's one thing that I always try to push on people, and that is don't be the guy who sprays and prays into 30 coins that some random influencer says, but just put your heads down for a couple of years, learn how the game actually works, and make a few conviction bets instead of going into 30 ones and hoping that it will do something.
Okay.
And this was one of them where I did everything publicly. So I said I'm going to buy it here at $1 million market cap. I sold it at 950 million market cap, and I shared that one online as well.
But this is so interesting. So I want to understand where you get this philosophy from, because when I look at like angel investors or when I look at the US and how hedge funds or these kind of entities do it, they're more like, I'm going to invest in 20 startups. 19 will go to crap and one will be an Uber. And they know that the returns on one will pay for the losses in the rest.
Yeah, but look at what kind of connections they have.
Okay.
Do you really think that someone from his bedroom has these kind of plays? No. So when I'm looking at this, by the way, guys, my eyes, they like I wink a lot. Yeah. Don't think that I'm trying
There's nothing going on.
No. But I have I have a crazy tick in my eyes. Okay. So I was born with this. So I will wink a lot. Okay.
No worries, bro. No worries.
So besides this, when I'm looking at it, I always think that it's way better to put full conviction into an ecosystem than randomly into 30 coins. So let me put it like this. You have two kinds of people. You have one guy who says, okay, I'm going into the crypto space. They're following 5 random influencers. Those influencers, they rent a Lamborghini or they do stuff. For how long do you live in Dubai?
4 years.
You saw enough, okay? So when you're looking at this, they come to Dubai, they rent some stuff, and now they are saying, listen, I made this live because of my call group. If you want this as well, come. Pay me this amount a month and you will get it as well. Well, what they are doing is they will share a list of 30 coins, indeed. And then one of them indeed goes hard. The only problem is that most probably is the one that you didn't invest in. And at the end of the day, if you look at it, you put money into 30 coins and one of them goes hard, you need quite some return for it to actually play break even. Well, with a little bit of research, you could have spotted that most of the tokens that he is pushing towards you is because he got paid. And at the end of the day, nothing of what he is pushing actually has real potential, especially when you look into the project itself. And this is something that I want to stimulate to people.
So the crypto markets are on fire and the bull run is well upon us. So instead of risking your hard-earned money, why not utilize other people's money? Well, as you know, the typical prop firm isn't really catered for crypto traders. And that's why I'm proud to introduce to you Bitfunded. And because they have partnered up with an exchange, you're not trading on a Forex platform. It's as if you are trading on Binance. You get all of the benefits of traditional prop firms, but specialized for crypto. And most importantly, the special offer that I want to give you, they are giving away accounts. We're giving away 500 free evaluations. All you have to do is sign up. No payment required. So if you think you have what it takes to navigate the crypto markets, get started right away utilizing the link in the description to take you to Bitfunded's website and get 100% off your first evaluation as long as you are one of the first 500 people. So do it right now. I want to explore the idea of risk to reward, which is, let's say somebody put in $1,000 and they made 500x, they made $500,000. So the risk reward is insane. But there's another, let's say, thing to consider, which is the risk to continue to hold. So let's say you're already 200x up. You are foregoing 200k if you invested 1k. You're foregoing that unrealized profit to then try and gain more, and therefore your risk to reward of unrealized profit is just getting smaller and smaller. So when you were reaching 300x, 500x, these are already insane numbers, especially from my perspective of Forex.
Yeah, but that is the problem when you're looking at investing. So the thing is the simple saying: know where you get out before you get in. That is like the most important one. When you're looking at this, so a lot of people, they jump into coins, but when it comes down to uncharted territory, also known as just where the price never has been before, when it comes down to that, people ask themselves, okay, how can I take profits now? Because when you're looking at technicals, it will be almost impossible. Some people will use the FIB tool for this. In my opinion, it's not the best way to do it. What you can do in the crypto space is you can just compare the narrative. So, for example, what I did with Toshi, so the base chain, is I saw, okay, this is the biggest meme token on Base, Coinbase. Okay, so Coinbase is one of the biggest platforms and they have their own chain. What do I know on similar chains? The biggest meme coins have multi-billion-dollar market caps. I know, even though Base is still a beginning chain, the potential to go to 1 billion is crazy high because it is the biggest one on one of the biggest exchanges in the entire world. So if one has the potential to go to 1 billion, it is Toshi. And I said, okay, before I go in, what is going to be my target? So when it was live, it was a pretty degenerate step. So you need to see it like this. There was a announcement on Twitter from Coinbase, we are going to start our own chain. If you want to get on the chain, you need to send money to this address, just a random address. So you're just sending money towards a random address and you don't know how it works. Besides this, you couldn't get it off the chain. So you could only put it on, but you couldn't put it off. So it sounded like the biggest scam ever. But at the end of the day, it was posted by the official Coinbase thing. So I was like, you know what?
And you could track that wallet.
Yeah.
You could track the money coming in.
Yeah. So I did it. And then I was looking, okay, it was at the time when memecoin started to do something. So it was around 1.5 years ago. Or 1 year, 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
At the moment, there were 4 tokens. You had Toshi, you had Balt, you had Brian, and Base. Brian was a token that literally had on the side, this is a rug pull. But I thought, no, this is some reverse psychology because you wouldn't like call it actually a rug pull on your side. Next morning, it was rugged. So basically, they said on their side, this is a scam. And I thought, no one would do that. So it must be some reverse psychology. Turned out to be a scam, money gone. Besides that, you had the other 2. Both flopped as well, except for Toshi. And Toshi was the only one that during 1.5 years still continued to actually build up their community, looking at building something that at one point it could be listed on Coinbase. So when you're looking at this, Coinbase is one of the strictest exchanges as well. In order to be listed on Coinbase, your token needs to have some form of utility.
Oh, but this is a meme coin.
Yeah. So they said, in order to actually be part of the chain, instead of just being a random meme token, we need to have something. That is when they said, listen up, we are going to create a tool. So we have utility, so we can actually be listed on Coinbase. Now, last week, this is what happened. And this is why I was right. And this is why I made 950x.
I want to understand a few things here. So number one is when it comes to the return side, of course, they're sexy, they're life-changing.
Yeah.
But at least from my kind of personality, I rarely look at the upside. I more look at the downside. And one thing for me is like, I want to see it. I want to know it exists. I want to know is there property, gold, like these things that are tangible. When it comes to the meme coin world, how can you, number one, give it a professional feeling apart from just a hope or, kind of just like throwing it in?
When you're looking at meme coins, it isn't my main thing. Okay. So meme coins is just something on the side, but you're stupid if you don't play it if you're in the game. Because at the end of the day, 950x, if I would let it on the table, it's pretty stupid because you cannot ignore a narrative. Because at the end of the day, when you're looking at it, because the crypto space is such a young market, there will be more degenerate.
Yes.
There will be more degen stuff. In the beginning, I was trying to ignore it, but at one point I was like, why am I ignoring it, since it has a lot of potential, since everyone who is stupid thinks, you know what, like just compare to this. You are walking to a random girl or a random guy, and first you are going to say, and this is a new layer 1 and the transactions per second is crazy compared to all of the other ones. They won't know. Like they will look at you and will think, is this some crazy maniac? And that is what the crypto space is. So not going to listen. I cannot see it. Well, if you tell them, hey, I just made 10K on a random cat, they will ask, how?
Sign me up.
Yeah. Can you teach me more?
This kind of gives me the idea of, I'm sure you're familiar with the term of the greater fool theory of, and I think the best example was NFTs, that yes, there was utility, yes, there was technology behind it, yes, there was real world case use of like, I can verify my degree with an NFT because it's the token itself is something you can check. But then in the end, it was like everybody's buying it, hoping it goes up. And then there's that person left at the top who paid the most, hoping it'll go up, and it never went up again.
Yeah, so you always need, at some point of the market, you always need to ask yourself, who am I going to sell it to now? Okay. That is always the best question to see where you are in the market.
And how do you decide that? Because it's not technical, it's not price on the left, it's narrative again.
So again, there's a very big difference in investing and day trading. A lot of people try to mix it up, but if you mix it up, you will lose, because they will think, I'm going into this trade now, then they're in the trade goes against them, and now they think, you know what, it is in a good project, so I will just keep it in there, it's an investment. Once you are trying to mix those up, you will always lose. So you need to separate them from each other. When you're looking at take profits in the trading space, way different than in the investing space, if you ask me. Other people will have other things in this, because at the end of the day, it's personal preference, and not what works for me will 100% work for other people. When you are looking at meme coins, in my opinion, one thing, it is a great tool to onboard new people because they have money on the blockchain now, and at one point they want to do something with it. Okay. Besides this, when you're looking at the NFT space, for example, I was one of the first guys into the NFT space as well, online as well. I made from 500 more than 1.2 mil with NFTs.
No way. Okay.
Yeah, but it's, I would say, literally the same reason as Toshi. It is literally because I was on Twitter and I saw a random name, ERC721. I thought, never heard about it. What is it? Clicked on it. And I learned about what NFTs were prior to anyone was talking about NFTs. I saw the use case, I saw what it could do, and back in the days it was already linked to some stupid pictures. So I thought, you know what, I want to be part of this thing, and I bought into certain projects. Down the line, in the beginning, because I was an early participant, I made money. My biggest hit was the one with Nike. The one with Nike was, did you hear about that one, Artifact?
Nike.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a project, it's called Artifact, and once Artifact came live, it was a collaboration between Artifact and Murakami, like the big artist. Okay. They had a NFT collection, and then I was like, okay, Murakami, he's like one of the biggest artists when it comes down to real world art, and he starts his own project now. So I was buying in, and while I was buying in, I stopped buying because I bought loads of it, and then literally, I think it was 1 or 2 hours later, I got a notification, Nike bought the project.
Oh.
Yeah. So from there on, the price went a few X up. So a few times it went up. I bought it at around 2 ETH, 2.5, and it went up to around 10. That was quite some because ETH was around 4K. What happened is Nike was one of the first ones, or Artifact was one of the first ones with doing big airdrops. So if you had one NFT, every NFT got worth around 100K in airdrops.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Paid in what? In USDT or paid in the native?
No, so you would get a airdrop from another NFT of them, and I sold those. But the thing was, I had some kind of strategy. So I had a lot of clones, and every time when you got an airdrop, you could get the next airdrop if you didn't sell this one. But because I had a lot, I could say, okay, with this one I'm going to sell this, with this one I'm going to hold, and if I get the next one, I will sell on that one as well. If I get the next one, I will sell on that one as well.
When it comes to NFTs in general, we know how it turned out.
Yeah.
However, the utility, at least from my perspective, made sense. There were
a lot of
you can
sense.
have fractional ownership.
You can have big believer in it.
So what do you think happened there? Why did it go to pretty much zero? And do you think it will resurface?
When you're looking at NFTs, you should see it way more as community passes back in the day. So it wasn't just a random stupid picture of an ape, but it was a community pass that gives you access towards a community where everyone had a certain picture of an ape worth something. So it basically means you're buying into a country club where you know for certain that everyone in that club is worth the floor price of that NFT. So, for example, when you're looking at Board Job 8 Club, at one moment, that one was around 400K each. So if you bought one, then you know that at each event you are going to, or each place where you will go to, you will find no one who has less net worth than that, because otherwise he couldn't access. When I'm looking at myself, when I moved to Dubai, I was around 18. That is quite young, and I didn't have any network. I had NFTs. And I was one of the, I was a pretty big holder in Artifact. Then there was a Artifact yacht party with ArtsDAO. It's a NFT thing here. I went there, and that is where I met a lot of my friends. That is, for example, where I met a friend who I now know Ali from, and now Ali is part of my team. So it's like buying into a network.
This makes a lot of sense. It can be on the small level of like premium gyms down to like being part of the arts club, American Express. There's watches, you be part of the club, and you meet people that have same interest, and they're kind of filtered in. That makes sense, but do you think NFTs will rise again without the hype of...
I hope not in the PFP space, so the profile picture space.
Yes, okay.
I hope that it will get a different use case. Like, for example, I'm a big believer in real-world assets. So the RWA space, where they try to tokenize stuff. So for example, they try to tokenize real estate, or they try to tokenize watches, or they try
fractional ownership. That's a beautiful concept. Yes.
I love it. The only thing is the narrative isn't currently hot. So you can invest a lot in there now, but everything that you throw in, if the narrative isn't hot or leading, you can participate on it, or speculate on it. But most of the time, you're just throwing your money in this thing here.
I want to take a moment from the episode to remind you of Alpha Capital, a long-term sponsor of the show, a leading prop firm in the entire industry. And in the last year, they did over $50 million in payouts. That's why they are a top-ranked prop firm that's been around for years and is not going anywhere. And with the multiple step plans they have and the multiple packages that they have, there is going to be something catered specifically to your needs at the most competitive pricing. And because we have a long-term relationship with them, we are able to bring you a massive discount of 20% off all evaluations. So click the link in the description or use the code TOT to get 20% off all your funded accounts, working with the best prop firm in the industry, Alpha Capital. So when it comes to crypto, there's a few essential pillars you need. One is the technology, then it's the narrative. What other things would you say for
community?
Is
one of the biggest ones at the end of the day, since it's a young market, and the community itself is what most tokens keeps apart.
How do you get an accurate gauge of community? What does that mean?
So in the beginning, it's just checking who is active in the Discord, what kind of activity is there in the Discord, who is posting on about Telegram, for example, or on Twitter. So if you go to Twitter and you type in the ticker symbol of a certain token and you go to latest, there you can see, okay, is the latest tweet about this token 20 days ago? And is no one talking about it? Okay. Or is it 5 seconds ago? And is it leading up? And you will always see, when you're looking at Toshi, for example, again, when I started investing, it is around 1.5 years ago. During that period, so during the entire timeline, it didn't do a lot. One time it went up to around 200 million, but then it went down again to around 40 to 60 million. But there was one thing. There was an increase in people who actually joined the Telegram and all of the stuff. So during their lows, there was still an increase, and they still said, listen up, we are still building and we are still doing this and still doing this. And that was for me a conviction where, okay, the community is still there. It literally means that if the narrative of the Coinbase chain comes back, this will be the biggest runner out there. That is what happened.
So it seems very interesting where you can have meme coins, which is all about narrative and community and no tech.
Yeah.
And then you have NFTs, which is like, okay, there's tech there, but right now no community. So it's not really working. But something I've seen, for example, Luke Belmar speak about on some of his podcasts is the launch of GTA 6 and how that is going to be a massive community. And the trailer was recently released and it had hundreds of millions of views like this. So you can already see it's going to be a lot of people's time, and there might be a crypto base around it where
there are so many examples. Let's talk about FIFA. I know nothing about football, but let's pretend I do. Okay, and I'm going every single day to Ajax, so from my home country. I'm going there and I'm going to the young players, and I'm seeing all of those guys, and I think, listen, this guy is going to be the biggest one. Now, 2 years down the line, NFTs is a thing in FIFA. Yeah. And I know that young guy because every single Wednesday or every single day when they train, I'm there seeing if he's still putting in the work. Let's say he gets introduced to FIFA now. I will buy him as a player. And then, because I really believe that he's going to be the next Mbappe or who out there, you can increase in this as well. So this is the thing about NFTs. There are a lot of use cases. The only thing is there needs to be a market for it as well. And at the moment, it just isn't.
How about now with a very pro-crypto seeming president, Donald Trump, and specifically as of lately, as he basically got signed in and inaugurated, he launched his own meme coin, I guess. I don't know what the word for that would be. And it seems like now it's like 60% down.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
Again, for onboarding new people, it's funny to do. At the end of the day, do I really think that he is the biggest pro crypto guy out there? No, I think if you want to be in office, you need to talk yourself into office. This is something that they all prove to do. Where they're just talking what the current narrative is. Like when he was running, you need to understand that almost everyone, let's say the age of 14 to 30, was was playing on Solana meme coins because it was the thing. Every taxi driver was talking about it. Every hairdresser was talking about it. That they show, you even had videos in third world countries where they were on the cheapest phones playing with a Phantom wallet as well. That was the thing. What does he know? I need some young voters as well, since they are the upcoming people. You need to talk yourself into office. Do I really think that he's going to be the biggest bullish guy out there about it? Let's see.
Do you think that could be a reflection of his popularity, like a stock in Trump itself, where if he does some great policies, it'll go up. If he does some crap, then it goes down.
You talk your way into office, but actually doing it is always the second thing.
Do you think even if he was behind the scenes very pro-president, that the system itself and the puppet masters, let's call them, would even allow him to do what he wants to when he's in power?
It depends. So when you're looking at the crypto space, the philosophy of crypto is literally getting rid of the middleman. So when you're looking at crypto space, when a lot of people think of crypto as just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the network that gets rid of the middleman when it comes down to payment systems. So it's a peer-to-peer network in that. That is just Bitcoin. So you need to understand that not every single token out there is meant for payments. That's what a lot of people think. When you're looking at Ethereum, it's because of smart contracts. When you're looking at a lot of networks, it has a very different purpose. The purpose always is how to get rid of the middleman. So it's not just the payment system. When you're looking at the middleman, that is basically what the government is. So do you want them to be involved? I don't know.
Do you think central bank coins that are crypto, there was CBC something?
Yeah.
Do you think this
CBDC,
is
yeah.
CBDC? Do you think this is something that would be a reality?
It could be. So I always say when they don't talk about it, it's way more dangerous than when they talk about it. And they didn't talk about it for quite a while. So I think that this is the most dangerous phase. I think that they use war and all of the tools most of the time to push these narratives. But I can be a conspiracy guy in this, but that is kind of a bit what the crypto space is. Could it be? Yes. I think that once you see a weaker currency from certain states, that could always be the or certain countries that could always be the introduction towards this.
When it comes to the crypto markets in general, I guess NFT can maybe come into that umbrella. There seems like there's multiple ways to make money aside from just dollar cost averaging Bitcoin. There's the meme coin side, there's the NFT side, there's the lower market caps, and then there's the AI related things and gaming coins. I see all these things, but aside from that, there's also staking, there's liquidity pools.
For most people, I wouldn't recommend to go in the crypto space, simply because they are not ready to put their heads down for 2 years and learn about the space first. They just hear it from some guy, they hear it from their friend, and they think, yeah, he made some money, so I want to do it as well. Yeah, I see this kid, he's this age, I want to get into it as well, but I don't want to really research it. I just want to listen. If that is the case, just simply don't do it, because then that's
the mistake I made. Yeah. I had no involvement in the crypto market. I heard about staking with you might have known Wonderland Time.
When you're looking at staking, for example,
this for me was like a great opportunity, and I was like, okay, cool, it's going to give me X% per month or per year, and it did, and it gave me these crazy percentage gains. However, I wasn't paid in USDT. I was paid in the native currency of that coin. So the coin value went down, my holdings went up, and it was in the end worthless, and I lost about 100K. So never entered again.
Yeah, but there are like so many examples of this. When I was talking to Riz, for example, in my other podcast, he said, and I invest in the crypto space as well, and this and this and this. Let me ask you, do you currently hold any crypto or anything?
Symbolic, not a big holding.
Back in the days, which tokens?
A big one for me was 100K into this Wonderland Time.
Besides that one, other ones?
The big ones, Bitcoin, Solana I did, Ethereum I did, and one or two other ones, but all under 50K holding.
When you're looking at Solana, and I ask you who the key team partners are from Solana, would you know?
I wouldn't know.
When I ask you about the tokenomics, would you know? No. And so why put money into something if you don't know anything about it? And that is always when I'm looking at the space, first learn how the space actually works. First see, okay, what actually is a blockchain? Why is this the philosophy? How does it work? What is my dollar actually worth? What is the dollar? Why is it the paper? What does the blockchain try to solve in this? First put your time into this before you are going to look into any meme coin or anything else. Because you need to understand the core of it first. When you're looking at I come from the Netherlands, so I always give a comparison with bicycles, for example. Yeah.
Okay.
When you're looking at riding a bike, you first need to learn how to go just in a straight way with no obstacles. Okay. What some people do is they look at the space, they see some guy on a BMX doing crazy stuff, saltos on the thing and all of the stuff, and they say they want to do that as well, but they don't know how to actually begin driving a bike. They cannot even drive in a straight line. How are you going to make a salto on a bike if you don't even know how to drive straight? And this is what I always say, like, again, for 90% of the people, I wouldn't recommend to go into the crypto space. Only go into it if you know why, if you know what your motivation is, and if you know why you are making certain moves. Same goes for the day trading space. If there's some guy out there, copy my signals, I got this watch because of the signals, I got all of this clothing because of the signals, just join it, I already do all of the hard work, just copy and paste it, it's fine. Just register through this link. All fine. Let's say he is actually profitable, what almost none of them are. Let's say he is, and he dies in a car crash. What are you going to do with your open positions? You don't know, because you're always one step behind. Well, in this space, you need to be one step ahead, otherwise you will get eaten alive. And especially in the crypto space, because it's such a young market.
Do you think, because I guess here you're talking about investing, not the day trading side, that you need to be one step ahead, you need to understand everything behind it, but for the use case of crypto
Same goes
itself,
for day trading especially, I would say understand.
of course, but here specifically I want to get into, because it's crypto relevant, the mass adoption side, that the mass adoption that crypto holders are hoping on, it requires probably 99% of people that won't have a clue just how the world is going to work.
Yeah.
Is that mass adoption thing something you want and something as a maxi you see yourself? Or
at the moment it's nowhere close to being mass adoption, and one of the reasons for this is because if you knock at your neighbor's door now and you say, hey, can you maybe send me $5 in ETH, they don't know how to do it. Like no one. Like if you go out there to a random supermarket and you ask it, they don't know. If they know it, they will say to you, listen, let's not do it at ETH because the gas fees will be more than the €5. For most people, that at the moment is the reality. So do I think we are close to mass adoption? No. We are close to a point of mass adoption when you don't know that you are using crypto. So that is the thing. When it is so easy to use, that is when we can walk towards a point of mass adoption. But how you still now need to create a phantom wallet, put some random address in there through a different network, it's way too complicated for most people. So we are not even close there yet, in my opinion.
So when people are like Bitcoin 500K and all these big numbers, either it's institutional adoption, government adoption, or mass adoption. Is that something you're thinking about, like Bitcoin going to huge numbers like that?
For me, like I'm a bit of a weird investor when it comes down to BTC. So when I'm looking at BTC, it goes for me level to level. So as a range trading thinker, I think where are we currently at and how can we play this? I publicly shorted the previous top. I publicly longed the bottom as well. By simply just playing the range instead of playing the emotions. So a lot of people said, listen, BTC is going to 12K. Well, at the end of the day, it never saw it. A lot of people in the previous market said it's going to 100K. Well, actually, it never saw more than around 68. So when you're looking at this, I would say that when it comes down to the main leader of the market, you need to play it in a range.
How do you do range plays when you're entering all-time highs in new territory?
Again, for BTC, it is, do I get the usual triggers that I have in my normal range? And when I'm looking at other tokens, most of the time it's just simple market cap comparison when I'm looking at investing.
Okay.
Trading, again, is different.
I want to get into now kind of the technicals of crypto and how you're either day trading or utilizing that for your investments. I've come across this idea that a self-fulfilling prophecy can happen where in the Forex side, I want to say when there's a narrative of like, there's a very obvious support level and everyone can see it, everyone believes in it, very likely that will get a stop loss on, let's say, a run of liquidity, and then it will do the move anyway to grab all of that resting liquidity, retail or not retail. It doesn't matter whose liquidity it is. But usually that's the idea of what everyone can see is not something that will come true. Whereas in the crypto market, because a few participants can have a significant impact in the price movement, when there is a very obvious wedge and everyone can see that wedge or the head and shoulder pattern, it might come true because everyone believes in it, acts on it, and then that becomes the liquidity. Does that mean in the crypto market you can really rely on more basic technicals and rudimentary approaches?
I think so. So when I'm looking at my strategy, it works on the forex space as well, and I think that most people who trade forex, they can easily trade crypto as well. When I'm looking at how I play it, is again, I'm a range trader and I mix it up with Fibonacci's. Okay. I do exactly the same as I would do in the forex space.
And range trading, you're talking about previous consolidations, or you're just talking about key levels, round numbers?
Just key levels. So. Okay. To take you back a bit, when I started, I started as a Fibonacci trader. One of the problems was Fibonacci trading is perfect when it comes down to finding entries, but for exit, in my opinion, it's not the best strategy. But for entries, it was perfect. So my entries, I always nailed it, and then at one point, when it comes down to taking profit, I always sucked at it. And then at one point in the previous cycle, there was a guy, his name is Trader SC. He was always playing in the range. And I thought, listen, every time when I had an entry and I said, no, it's going a bit higher, he said, no, it's stopping here and we're going down now. And the first time I was wrong, and I thought, no, he was just lucky. I'm a better trader. Boom, second time it happened again. And I said, okay. Mm-hmm. And then it happened again and again and again. And I said, okay, what is this range trading thing? I want to get into it as well, because how does this work? And that is when I mixed it up. So this is when I said, okay, range is almost everything, because it gets rid of the emotions. And that is such an important part for me, especially when it comes down to taking profit. That is where most people suck at. So when you're looking, for example, let's say my Toshi play, when I took profits at 950, again, publicly on Twitter, a lot of people said, no, it's going higher. And what are you doing? And this and this and this. It never saw a single dollar above it. Nothing. What do I know is I said in the beginning on, this is the level where I'm going to take profit. I said 1 billion, but starting to sell from 900 to a billion. So I always get it in zones, I would say. So I'm not pinpoint selling, just sell it in zones. Mm-hmm. Again, everyone was like, no, and it's going higher and all of the stuff because of the emotions, because it run from less than a week from around 150 million towards a billion. So everyone is hyped and everyone thinks, yeah, and we're going higher. At the end of the day, it's not. And you just need to simply accept the rules of the game. When I'm looking at trading, I always say I'm the bitch of my system. Can I?
Of course.
Okay. I'm the bitch of my system, and I will listen to my system. I'm a very stubborn guy, so sometimes you saw it as well with the I cannot stop it. So I know that my system isn't like me, and sometimes I'm just a pain in the ass, and I need to accept that as well. And this is why ranges for me is everything. It tells me where to take profit, and that's it. So I will listen to that. That's it.
I finally have a special offer to share with all of you from the US or my futures traders, which is over 20% of the listeners of the show. And that is Alpha Futures, a leading futures prop firm that is working with Trader8 and Ninja Trader that are compliant with CME regulations. With the largest end of day balance drawdown in the industry, a 90% profit split and same day payout. And with the most competitive pricing in the industry, with accounts starting at just $79. On top of that, just by being a viewer of the show, you get up to 40% off all evaluations. So why not get started with an evaluation right away, trading $50,000, $100,000, and you already know the power of prop firms and larger capital. So go ahead and use the link in the description or code TOT for the best prices in the industry, plus the best discounts in the industry to make this a home run offer if you are a futures trader. When I speak about range, and I want to hear your way of the term, range for me is like in a bullish market, it's the last higher low and the previous higher high. That becomes my main push, and that becomes the range that we're within. And then it's internal price action of the range.
There are many cases of range and many strategies as well. So when I'm saying range trading, there are like 100 strategies in ranges and how to define your range. When you're looking at trendline trading, you indeed have on Baby Pips explained what a single trendline is, but you have actual trendline traders out there as well who use it in 100 different ways. So don't think that range trading is just one thing. It's like 100 things, and then it's how you implement it.
When it comes to, you said you don't like to mix your investing and day trading.
Yeah.
What is different about them for you?
When I'm looking at so for the people who are maybe new to trading, you have 3 styles of trading. You have scalping, you have day trading, you have swing trading. When I'm looking at my trading, I have certain days or minutes that I will look at. So for example, when I'm looking at scalping, I know for myself when I'm in a scalp, it cannot take longer than around 2 hours. When I'm looking at my day trade, I'm never going to sleep with my trade open. For example, when we started the podcast, I said to you, fuck, I'm so irritated because I didn't take this trade because I'm going into a podcast now. I know that I want to monitor it and I want to see it. When I'm looking at swing trading, it can take a couple of I would say maximum around 2 weeks. So I have like certain areas and I will play it in the range. When I'm looking at investing, again, when I'm looking at investing, it's most of the time purely market cap. So it's market cap, and then sometimes I will look at key levels in the range, but market cap most of the time is everything for me.
And when it comes to your investing style, I guess a part of that is meme coins.
Degenerate.
The degeneracy side, and I guess that's the fun money. But what does the real investing look like in the crypto markets?
It really depends. So I'm a big fan of ecosystems. So I will pick an ecosystem and I will just go heavy on that ecosystem. So for the people who are new to the crypto, do you have a lot of like?
I imagine most are new, to be honest.
Yeah?
I think most people are interested
to put it into simple terms. The crypto space is like operating systems where you have layer ones, and a layer one basically you can see it as Apple and Android. Okay, so we have Apple on this side, Android on this side.
Okay.
When you're looking at it, some people like Apple. You have Apple or Android?
Apple.
Why do you like Apple?
Started with it and never changed, and it feels like a hassle to change.
Easy to use. It not like Android where you need to you will always have some people who will come up to you with an Android phone and they will say, yeah, no, but you paid way too much because this one has way more functions and this and this and this and this. That is for them more important. So they have certain reasons why for them that operating system works better than iOS. You say, I don't give a fuck about it. Just give me a thing that works, that it's easy, and I always use it. So it is a personal preference thing on which operating system is the best. This is the same when you're looking at the crypto market. When you're looking at Ethereum, it's an operating system. When you're looking at Solana, it's an operating system. When you're looking at AVAX or other layer ones, it's operating systems. And every operating system has particular plus side, ups and downs. So when you're looking at for example, TPS, so transactions per second, when you are looking at Ethereum, it is way lower than when you're looking at Solana, for example. So how I always like to compare it is, let's say we are playing Candy Crush on both phones. When you are playing it on Ethereum, let's say that is Android in this case, you do one swipe with Candy Crush and it will say, yes, that one swipe will cost you $20 and it will take around 20 minutes or 5 minutes to actually confirm it. And then you can make the next step, okay? That is quite some time and quite some money, so you need to be pretty rich if you want to play Candy Crush on that phone. Now we take the iPhone, Solana for example, and you are swiping and it says that is $0.0001 and it is instant, okay? Only problem with Solana is sometimes it will crash down. So you mid your game, boom, operating system crashed. Now there is one problem in the crypto space, and that is the blockchain trilemma, and that is where a project tries to solve scalability, security, and decentralization. So it's like three things. They try to solve this. There's almost no project at the moment that actually solved this, and that is what they are all fighting for. So when you're looking, for example, at Ethereum, and you're looking at the decentralization, the scalability, and the security, it is secure, yes, it is pretty decentralized, but is it scalable if you need to pay $20 for a swipe and it takes 5 minutes? Not really. And every project tries to do this. So when you're looking at Solana, how scalable is it if the operating system falls down while you're mid-game? And so is there a battle in this game.
Interesting. And how do you position yourself? I guess the bull run is already I guess for the last 6 months has already been a bull run.
I hate talking in bull and bear markets. Okay. One of the reasons for this is because you will put yourself in a mind condition that doesn't make any sense. Because when do you call the bull market and when do you call the bear market? At the absolute top or at the absolute bottom? So you will say, no, but it is a bull market now. Yeah. And we are already up 10x on Bitcoin. Yeah. It's a bear market now. Yeah. No shit, Sherlock. Everything is 80% down. This is something that you need to spot in the beginning. But you're never going to spot it in the beginning if you're going to give it a tag, bull market or bear market. So I never like to talk in those terms. And that is maybe a range trader thing. Okay. Where I see it, I will just play the range and I will play the next level.
So does that mean you're very often from invested to back to cash, back to invested, as opposed to just throw it in there and hold and wait a couple of years?
Yeah, and investing, like for me, as a trader, in my opinion, the bear market isn't a bad thing.
Okay.
The bear market is actually quite a good thing. Why? Because it's literally an inverse bull market if you can know how to short. So I bought some books. I'm a pretty big reader, as you saw online. Yeah. And one of those books is this one. It's a very good book when it comes down to
the
shorting.
Second leg down.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're looking at shorting, I would say that this is one of the best books about shorting. You can give it away or you can do.
Yeah. Whatever. Why not? Why not? Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. So this is my favorite book when it comes down to shorting. And again, shorting is literally an inverse bull market when you're looking at trading. A lot of people always are scared that the bear market might start. I'm very happy. This week, I did more than 3 big shorts online publicly because I am not afraid of it. Mm-hmm. Well, the entire Twitter feed is saying no, and we are going long and the next leg up and this and this and this. At the end of the day, the range is saying that we are not even close to being the next leg up, but we are down in the second range. So let's just short it. This book is a game changer in this.
What was your key takeaway from this book? And I'll give it away. We'll do it
by opening up your eyes instead of the emotions itself. Well, and this is because people, again, they mix up investing with day trading. So for an investor, a bear market is brutal. You can see it as opportunities because you can buy, but at the end of the day, for your investments, it's brutal. Mm-hmm. While for a day trader, again, it's the perfect opportunity to short. Because how you made everything longing the market, you can make everything shorting the markets as well. And this book was for me like one of the eye-openers that you should switch your perspective.
When it comes to the crypto markets in general, how did you learn? How did you get started? Because it's an immature market and there's not official ways to learn. So how did you navigate all the mess that we've spoken about online of the guru space and whatever? How did you qualify information as being good?
Curiosity. I was just very curious how everything worked, because I started in the stock market, and when I was doing that, I back in 2017 I started in the crypto space, but not heavily like I am now. So I stopped, and then when I was Quick backstory. I started working in sales at around 16 to 18. I was making around 6 to 8K a month, euros. That is quite some when it comes down to the age. And I was like, okay, let me do something interesting with the money.
Okay.
What sounded interesting? Stocks. So I started doing this. And then everything went pretty well. And then I was like, okay, but there's this other market that actually for me sounds way more interesting. And that was the crypto space. And this is when I said, okay, from a curious mind, how does everything actually work? So I just opened it up, blockchain one-on-one. And for people in the beginning, I would always say only seek help if it cracks. So if you don't know anything about the day trading space, for example, I would say don't buy a course, don't do it. Wait, learn a bit first, see how it actually works. When it cracks, that is when you're going for help. When you're looking at the crypto space, find it out first, online, for free. Go to YouTube, free course this, look it up. If you need help with something, that is when you're going to seek help. But before that, there's so much online, and the beginning phase is the best phase to see how dedicated you really are. Because if you cannot do it, so those who pay attention. So the reason why free courses out there don't work is because you didn't put in a commitment fee. But I would say for yourself in the beginning, see how committed you are to this actual thing. I thought, okay, this crypto space, there must be a lot of information out there. Let me just find it and let me just see how it works. And this is when Luna already came on my path.
As a trader, it's very simple. You have to find an edge and then you have to have a mind so you can follow that edge. But how do you know if you're performing correctly or not? You have to know your data. And TradeZeller is going to show you everything that you need beyond the surface level win rates and performance and equity curve. It's going to show you detailed reports. It's going to be your backtesting tool, strategy testing tool, playbooks, notes, and it's going to be a full journal. It makes your journaling easier, faster, and more meaningful. Whereas if you were just documenting it on an Excel spreadsheet or taking screenshots on your iPhone, you wouldn't be able to pull out the data that you need. The correlations that the AI within TradeZeller is pulling out for you. There's so much variety and utility within the software that I think it's essential for any trader. So the link somewhere below is going to take you directly to the TradeZeller website. I'm not getting paid. This is for you. If you want it, if you like it, go ahead and explore it, and probably you'll be using it for years to come. Do you think for a successful newcomer into the crypto markets to go through this process of being obsessed and learning the basics and then finding correct strategies, you have to be slightly anti-system, let's say, or anti-matrix, or because you could also just go to the stock market, which is like crypto, so it's an appreciating asset.
So I wouldn't even say anti, I would just say a curious person.
Okay.
Just be a curious person and ask yourself how it works. So when you look, I don't have that book with me, but when you want to start your curiosity, just read the book, The Creature of Jekyll Island.
Okay.
Just read that one about the start of the Federal Reserve and the dollar. Just start with that, and then you will find your way into it.
I mean, I haven't read that book specifically, but that topic is a huge eye-opener that everyone needs in their life.
You have that one, and you have Lords of Easy Money, and those are like the books that, in my opinion, will bring you a lot of lessons, and especially a lot of curiosity. And again, when I'm looking at the success of day trading, it's curiosity, or the success of the crypto space. It's just pure curiosity.
You mentioned you're a big reader, and you've mentioned a couple of books now. What books would you say led to the level of success that you have now?
My favorite question. There you go. Okay, so
you have more,
guys. Yeah. So I bought some books. I literally have a coffee. I have a. Sorry, I love coffee.
It's only 7 today, so a slow day.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a list of my 81 favorite books. I need to
81.
Yeah, from last year.
Okay.
So I have a few. I brought a few, and these are the ones that if you want to start with day trading, you need to start with. I will give you the reasons for everything. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Okay. One of them, just to start with, is the basic one. I think every trader would recommend this, and that is trading in the zone. It basically gives you a beginning perspective of what you can expect from the market and how you can respond to it. This is a book that, in my opinion, in every stage of being a day trader, you need to read it. So you need to read it as a beginner, you need to read it as an intermediate, but you need to read it as an expert as well. Because every time you will see it from different perspectives. And that is the great thing about this one. So, very good one. Again, give it away to
I think I'll give all of these away.
Love it.
We'll find a way to do it, maybe through your Instagram or something, just to make sure everyone finds you. But I love it, bro. Thank you very much.
When I'm looking at this one, I lost 2.4 million in one day. That's quite some money.
You did?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Okay.
That was almost all of the money that I had. It was so when
was this?
So I was talking about Luna, right? Mm-hmm. I was one of the first investors in Luna, around 26 to 28 cents. Bought it, sold it at around 110, 112.
Amazing. Okay, yes.
So it's quite some. But then I converted, I took profits at literally the top. Then I put it into USD, so their stable token, or stable coin, and I put it into staking. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was earning a lot of money with staking itself, and then at one point I got the biggest lesson of my life when it comes down to staking, that actually it's a negative risk to reward, because you're risking 100% of your money, while the gain most of the time is around 20%. Why am I saying risking 100%? Because most of the time when you're staking, you are locking your money up for around 28 days. It can be 23, depending on the project. So you're locking up your money. So basically you're risking all of that money for 28 days. What happened? Luna crashed. When Luna crashed, I couldn't sell it. Why? Because my money was stuck in the staking protocol. And in this way, I lost 2.4 million in a day. But besides that,
Sheesh.
Quite
and
a
bounce
hit.
back.
Yeah,
you bounce back though.
Yeah. Again, in every podcast, I explain that entire story. But at one point, you are like, okay, I just lost almost everything I had. What now?
Yeah.
Because like you have two options. Either you stop and you say this market is a scam and fuck all of this, or you're saying, you know what? In the first place, I made more than 2.4 million when I was 19. I can do it again. Otherwise, it was luck. And there was like my anger of now I need to show that it wasn't luck because I already made the move to Dubai. I already had all of the network.
Oh, so this is not too long ago. When was this?
3 years, 4 years.
Wow. And would you say you've recovered all of it?
Yeah, but in the same year already.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because of that book.
The second leg down.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I'm so like I want everyone to read that one because learning how to short is a gold mine in the space. And a lot of people don't talk about this. Why? Because a lot of people online actually don't trade. And I think that you understand how that game works. But this one was a very important one for me because this is a book where you have interviews with top traders. So all of the trading geniuses that are alive or not anymore were interviewed in this book. And one thing that I learned from that book was that most people who made it to billionaire status lost everything that they had more than 10 times. Wow. Okay. At that point, I lost everything 4 times when I'm looking at Luna.
Okay.
So I thought, okay, fuck it. So I have 6 more to go. like at the end of the day, if those guys have 10, then who am I to say that I'm better than them? No, if they had 10, let's be open for 6 and let's do it again. And again, if you cannot do it one more time, it's called luck. And that's something I don't like. I want it to be skill instead of luck. This comes down to this one. Fooled by randomness. The hidden role of chance in life and in the markets. A very, very, very good book about probabilities.
Okay. Okay.
I would say one of the reasons why most people are not profitable in the day trading space is because they don't understand how probabilities work. So, for example, let's say you're right 9 out of 10 times. Then in that 9 out of 10, you don't know if it's going to be the first one, the second one, the third one, the fifth one, or maybe number 10. You will be wrong. What a lot of people do is they are on a winning streak, 4, and now on the 5th trade, they lose. What are they going to do? Instead of thinking, at the end of the day, I had 4 winning ones, they're going to adjust the strategy because they think that they did something wrong. Well, at the end of the day, could be probability. And this is something a lot of people try to quickly change. They don't understand that the markets is a game of probabilities. And you need to just make sure that the probabilities are on your side. Very good book about it. Mm-hmm. Then the last one, I would say for this time, this is the most important one. It's a very boring book. So okay. This one is very boring, but very good. And that is The Black Swan, where it basically explains
That's the same author.
Yeah.
This one, yes. Okay.
Where it basically, doesn't matter which one you read first. The thing is everyone who is currently watching this, just read this book. Because at the end of the day, this is one of the most accurate books at the moment, where black swan events can happen every single moment. When you're looking at Trump, how he...
They happen a lot.
Yeah.
COVID, there's the...
Exactly. This is the book that tells you how to actually prepare for this and how to play the game of this. So these are the books that when I'm looking at beginning day traders or just beginning investors, best books out there.
Which one of these is something you keep coming back to that you've read a few times?
All of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, we'll give these away. And in fact, before I even give them away, I'll probably have a read of 1 or 2 of them. But bro, you came with a bit of everything. Very kind. I wanna take towards the end of the podcast around this topic of like you can make a lot of money in crypto. Not too many people have done it, but enough people have done it to know that it's a possibility. But I feel like in certain instances, you also got to know how to get out or when to get out. And maybe that was one of the mistakes in your last one where you made a lot and you could have put half away or pulled your principal out of the market. How do you navigate, let's say, your net worth when it comes to how much is in fiat, how much is in crypto, and how do you utilize this war chest that you've built in crypto towards maybe other investment types?
So I'm not really a investor when it comes down outside of crypto. As you know, I'm not big into watches. I'm I'm not.
Well, you are now.
Yeah, like I'm not a watch guy. I'm not any. I'm just a crypto degenerate.
Crypto, coffee, cigars.
Exactly. Yeah. And Lord Piana is another one. Yeah, but I always say I'm just a nerd covered in Lord Piana, and like for me, I'm just obsessed with the space itself, and I think that the space is one of the most interesting spaces out there, and especially to keep the money in. When it comes down to the approach, what I would recommend everyone to do is, as you guys can see, I have my notebook here. I have this one always with me. I would say get yourself a notebook, a nice one. Get yourself a nice pen as well, so you don't lose it. And create for yourself a business year. And what do I mean with a business year? The upcoming 12 weeks, you need to view it as your year. Where you
12 weeks.
Yeah, so the upcoming 12 weeks is going to be your new year. So instead of going with the normal calendar of 2025, 2026, say, listen up, from after watching this podcast, tomorrow my new year is going to start. And this year is going to be 12 weeks. And I want you to make a very accurate game plan for yourself on how in the upcoming 12 weeks, so how in this upcoming business year, you are going to get started in the crypto space itself. So I want you to see, okay, how are you going to start? Which channels are you going to watch? How are you going to turn it around? What a lot of people do is they're going to start this year, so the normal year, with the idea, yeah, I'm going into crypto. Yeah, now I'm going to start a side hustle. Yeah, now I'm going into trading. But they never actually go get it. Because they think, hey, a year is long, so it's all fine. Well, if you give yourself 12 weeks, then there's some sense of urgency because you need to do it. So you will actually go get it. When I'm looking at because I want to answer your question, first start with that. So first start with getting your knowledge in the first business year. If you already have the knowledge, okay, pick a topic or pick an ecosystem, and in the upcoming 12 weeks, you are going all in on this. Yeah. In 12 weeks, you can get so much done. If you're fat, you can get skinny. like if you are broke, in 12 weeks, you can work quite financially well. There are so many things that you can do in 12 weeks, but you need to give yourself the opportunity to actually do this. And I think that is the point where I would start.
In Forex futures and not even stocks yet, but Forex and futures, very big wave that basically everyone is running towards is prop firms, and utilizing other people's money, and I guess kind of controlling your downside because it's just your challenge fee that is your total loss, let's say. How do you view that in the crypto space?
A lot of people are going to hate me for this, but I hate prop firms.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
In crypto or in general?
In general.
How
because
come?
The entire business model, in my opinion, just doesn't make any sense. Because a lot of people, they don't understand how they get paid. So when you're looking at the business model itself, and where you're looking at where the money comes from, where you get paid in, it's just from the challenges that other people bought. And when you're looking at...
Sure, you can look at it like that, but at the same time, whenever a winning trade is placed, it's at the expense of someone else's liquidity or loss.
I think when you're looking at trading, it's, in my opinion, always better to start with your own capital instead of being relying on someone else. And in my again, it's the decentralized idea of me. I don't want to be dependent on a prop firm. Same goes as centralized exchanges in the crypto space. I'm not a big fan of it. Like at the end of the day, it can go away and your money is gone. And when you're looking at prop firms or anything else, a lot of people online, they for example, they fake their trades for their things with maybe their own prop firms or anything else. I'm just not a big fan of that world. And I think that a lot of people should be more careful with it. So instead of seeing it as the new way of making money, first put your heads down and try to do it with your own capital. If you cannot make 10K from 1K, you won't be able to make 100K from 10K. So that is my opinion about it.
Fair enough. When it comes to, in general, therefore, leverage, the concept of leverage, is this something you utilize?
Yeah.
Okay, leverage is okay with you. So how are you accessing leverage in the crypto space? Is through exchanges?
Yeah, but again, on there, during the trade, of it, after the trade. So I never...
So you don't store in the exchange?
No,
okay.
No, because so simply said, you have two wallets. Okay, so let's pretend this is a wallet. Yeah, and let's say you are putting money into the wallet itself. Okay, I'm the exchange. You trust me. Yeah, that I'm going to do what you say. So you say, listen, thank you for the money. Buy $10 of this with the money because you trust me. I say, okay, fine. Now what happens if I just close it and I run away? Your money is gone. Well, when you're looking at decentralized exchanges, you are the owner of your wallet. And you keep the money and you buy the things yourself. In my opinion, that will be the future for the day trading space in the crypto space, where everything will be decentralized. Sorry.
Well, with the FTX situation, has there been any changes in the space as a result of that exchange going down?
Again, my view on exchange is the same.
It didn't change since that situation.
So it's good to use for your trading itself, but it's always sketchy. I have multiple examples where I put my money on there and I never saw it back. And that is part of, like at the end of the day, that is the game. Am I going to stop now because of that? No, because I accepted it. Same goes for beginning day. When I'm looking at beginning day traders, they are most of the time not willing to risk anything, and they will get very angry when they get a loss, or they will text me, yeah, and I was on a winning streak, but now I got a loss and this and this and this, or yeah, no, and I got my hard stop hit, so three losses in a row. And I'm saying, do you ever see a kickboxer being very angry that he got hit in the face when he stepped into the ring? Or a footballer when he was tackled? No, it's because of the game. Like that is what the game is. So can you blame it that you are being tackled or that you're getting punched in the face when you're jumping into the octagon? No, it's part of the game. Same goes for me in the crypto space. It's a degenerate space, and I accept it.
Fair enough.
Same goes if you are touching prop firms, don't get angry when they fall down. Because that is what you agreed upon, in my opinion, in the first place. You know which business you are going into. It is a risky one. Accept it or don't do it.
I think with the prop firm topic, like, of course, there's always the nightmare story of somebody didn't get paid out or the whole firm collapses, which has been an issue for sure in the space. But then, just like anything, you just pick the right companies. Don't pick the new one that's launched by an influencer. Pick something like an FTMO or the big ones that have been around for 5 years, or have a track record of paying out and stuff like that. And I'm sure that will also develop in the crypto space.
Too big to fail exists for a reason. Like when you're looking at Luna, for example, it was a top token, a top 10 token.
Well, which is why I wanted to ask the question of, with an exchange going down, you lose your total your total investment pot. Whereas with a prop, you lose your fee, challenge fee.
Like at the end of the day, some people, they quit their jobs because they have a prop firm.
A false sense of identity.
Or they failed at 9 and now they did 1. Well, at the end of the day, when you're looking probability wise, they just suck. So I think for a lot of people, it's a fake reality. I see people in their bio, I'm 4 million funded. That's cool. It literally means that you maybe have a $5,000 account, or I don't even know how that.
Usually 10% of that is is a demo account though.
So what do you actually have? And again, I will get a lot of hate for this, but it's not meant from the wrong space. It's meant from, I want you to succeed, but be the owner of yourself instead of being instead of relying on someone else. I think that is always the most important thing.
You mentioned leaving a job too early, so I want to kind of get into that. You had the sales job, which was paying you really high, especially for the age you were at. How did you decide to walk away? And then when you had this basically back to square one situation, did you go back to a job?
So for most people who are watching this, I would always say keep your job in the first year. Because at the end of the day, when you're looking at the markets, so I view the markets as different roads, where an uptrend can be driving on grass. And then at some point, the uptrend will go into a sideways market. And instead of driving on grass, where you are pretty comfortable in now, so profitable, now you're moving into ice, a sideways market. Now, once you go in there first, you need to adjust your entire way of driving. And Once you finish that and you go into a downtrend, now you're driving on sand. And now you need to do that first. To stop your job, in my opinion, you first need to actually understand a few different cycles before you are actually going to do that. When I'm looking at myself, for example, I made quite some money in my beginning stages with a good investment in Luna. What left me with a fuck you money bag. That's how I always call it. A fuck you money bag is basically a bag of money that can pay your bills and anything else for the upcoming 2 years.
Okay.
Would that you or 1 year, however you want to approach it. So a bag of money where you don't touch anything from, only for the necessary things. So your rent, your food, and anything else. You can decide how much it is. Maybe it's 2K a month, what you need. Maybe it's 5K, maybe it's 10K. That decides your fuck you money amount. Once you have that, if you have it in the crypto space now or anything else, what I would do is I would get it out. Doesn't matter where the markets could go. And I would say, in this upcoming year, I'm going to pay myself every month with my fuck you money, and I'm going to learn how the game works.
Okay.
So I'm going to learn how it works. If you don't have this opportunity of fuck you money, but you just have a job, work your job. Since job is cash flow. And when you're looking at that, you need it for the trading space. When you're looking at trading and when you are looking at in the beginning stages, I always see trading accounts as bullets. So for example, I would always say never trade with more than $1,000 in the beginning stages. It doesn't matter if you are a billionaire or anything else. First, understand how the game works. Again, if you cannot make 10K from 1K, you won't be able to do it in the other side. So you want to minimize the risk. $1,000 account is one bullet. Let's say that is the only money that you have because you were the motivational guy who was looking at reels and some guy did push-ups in the rain, and now you think that you are going to do it as well. You call your boss, you say, listen, I'm the motivational guy, fuck you, I'm going to do all in on trading now with my last 1,000. It sounds very cool. Maybe your friends think that you are very cool, or the girls on Snapchat think you are very cool, but actually, is it very smart? Because if you lose it, what are you going to do then? Mm-hmm. So I would always say, give yourself the room to fail, because you need to fail in the beginning stages. There is no university for this. You will be your own university. And in order to do this, better make it a good one, where you need to pay for some lessons. My university was fucking expensive, since it cost me at one day more than 2.4 million. But at the end of the day, it's fine. It's a college fee, because I'm still always learning. And that is how I view losses. So especially in the beginning, have some form of cash flow, or have fuck you money where you can fund it with. That is my opinion about it.
There we go. I'm going to open these in just a second. I realize I don't want people to be like, what was in there? So we'll open it on camera. But before we do, I want to kind of hear your thoughts on a lasting message that you want to give to traders that are coming into the markets. Yeah. And kind of seeing, okay, bull run, okay, Trump's now in president. Like, this is an opportunity for me. What advice would you give those people?
Study the game. Like, instead of, I know it can be so tempting to see all of the guys out there with watches, with anything else, and you try to compare yourself. So, for example, you may think now, yeah, but this kid is 23 and I'm 27. How? At the end of the day, I want you to understand that you cannot compare yourself with me because I'm longer in this game. So it is basically you comparing yourself. If you go to the gym now and you have arms like this and you are there for a week, you cannot compare yourself to the bodybuilder in the gym who is already there for 7 years training and focusing on his diet. It doesn't matter how old you are or anything else. It's the experience in that game. Give yourself the opportunity to learn in this game. Give yourself the time to learn in this game. That's the only thing that you need. The first year, you won't be able to get all of the watches. The first year, you won't be the guy who drives in the Lamborghini. And if you do, sorry to tell you, you're most probably going to lose it. And then is the question, are you going to accept that loss or not? So I would say that keeping your head down, have the bigger picture in your head. When you're looking at doctors, they study 9 years before they eventually get paid big. When you're looking at lawyers, around 8 years. Who says that the highest paying skill in the world, day trading, is going to do it otherwise? If you can do it in 2 years or 3 years, be happy with this. Because other people, you're a dentist.
6 years at university, yes.
6 years. And how much do you get paid after 6 years monthly?
You start off at maybe 30, 40K, but in the first few years, you can scale to 100K.
Okay. Trading can do way more. And you know this. It took you 6 years. How much did you get paid during that study?
0. It cost, obviously.
There you go. You are in a space where you can get paid while you are studying. If you don't see this opportunity, all fine. But just don't have such a short-minded thing. And I would say delete all of your social media. Because that's just a pain in the ass. Because you are constantly comparing yourself to people. Yeah. And again, it's you who, in the beginning, I'm sorry to tell you, is the small guy. And accept this, embrace it, and see it as motivation to become the big guy. If I can do it indeed when I'm 23, imagine if you are 27, 30, you most probably have more life experience than I do, what you most probably think. All fine. Show it. Do it. Because if the opportunity is there, better take it.
So I want to know the story, why Loro Piana? It seems like, I mean, I mentioned it before on my vlogs and stuff, I only buy from 5 brands.
Yeah.
But it seems like you only buy from 1 brand.
Yeah.
And that is, I guess you have VIP status at Loro Piana.
Yeah. So it all comes down to when I was younger.
Yes.
So I am a Muslim now, but I grew up Jewish. And back in the days, you always had very rich fathers, Jewish fathers who always wear Loro Piana. It was like a big thing.
Oh, okay.
And I was always looking at it like, how can you be so stupid to pay $5,000 for a plain
without a
hoodie?
logo. Yes.
Yeah. and then because back in the days I loved the brands with big things on it. Like I always looked up to rappers and all of the stuff who were dressing like a Formula 1 car, like you said. And then at one point I realized that at the end of the day, all of those guys who I looked up to were broke, and all of the guys who I said were crazy for wearing all of the stuff were very fucking rich. And then at one point when I made my own money, I was like,
there we have it.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's the classic
walk.
one.
Yes,
it's the classic one.
Walk.
Yeah, I needed to stalk your brother for this to actually get.
To be honest, I have pretty much every. My brother texted me. He was like, "You're gonna get some good news," and then he deleted the message. He was like, "What?" And he just said, "You'll find out." I was like, "Bro, just tell me that. I can't tell you." It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, very kind. I'll be honest. I have pretty much every color already.
But this one not, right?
Yeah, I didn't have this one.
Okay.
So you did your research well.
Yeah,
beautiful, bro. Beautiful.
So this one, but it has a matching icon thing from Loro Piana as well.
Okay. We bought gifts for everyone. The audience, for me.
Yeah, but again, for me, it is just embracing the
from what I
itself.
remember from when we went for dinner the other day, you were saying that it doesn't matter about other people knowing what it costs because there's not a logo.
I feel like a G.
You feel your self-confidence.
Yeah. So again, like for. It's a good example. When I was in Europe, for example, for most people, it looks like I'm wearing a Zara outfit at the moment. Yep. And I'm very happy with that in certain areas.
For your safety.
It's fine, yeah. Because for those people, I don't want to seem like I have all of the crazy stuff. This one, for example, is pretty expensive. But people here know.
Nice.
Yeah, look, matching.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm ready. This is a summer boat in Dubai. This is beautiful.
Indeed.
Beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, very kind. You really shouldn't have. Out of 70-something episodes, you're the second person to give me a gift. So very kind of you, bro. And I'm not a gift receiver, so very kind of you.
For doing this for the space. I hope a lot of people like this podcast. I hope a lot of people are actually going to take action. And this is the last thing I want to say. Guys, knowledge is nothing without the implementation. So you can watch 100 podcasts about trading. You can watch 100 podcasts about a certain topic. But if you're not going to implement it, you won't make it. So understand this. Implementation is everything. Knowledge, when you're looking at the smartest people out there, most of the time they're not the richest guys out there. Why? Because they have the ability to overthink. It's most of the time the stupid people who are crazy rich. Why? Because they don't overthink and they just do.
It's true, bro. Bro, you're a legend. Very kind for coming on with all the gifts and an epic episode.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers, my man, Camille. There we go. Boom. Bro, I don't know what to do with all this.